Sorry, guys, that ended up being cut off. I don't know what I hit, but anyway, I've cut it off instead of pausing it. So I'll just have a look at these cards for the feminine. Also, we'll just like do a bit of a part two for the feminine. Awakened spirit, desire to change. That's literally what we're going through at the moment. This desire to change our whole entire life, but also to this is not just happening on an individual level. This, of course, is happening on a collective level, on so many different levels. We got third eye vision. So when we're actually contemplating, sitting, meditating, that's when a lot of our messages come through, and a lot of our psychic messages also come through. And literally, it's kind of like, it's also too, when you look at this, it says reclaim your mind. But I think the feminine at this point in time no longer is, it has, like, mind control has no hold on her anymore. So she has reclaimed her mind quite some time ago. She can't be changed. She can't be changed off path, pretty much, and she can't be taken off path. Shield your energy, look beneath the surface. So I would say more so this is about going within and also to just contemplating the new world in which we're going to be moving into, because frogs mean rebirth, literally mean rebirth. So going within and finding the inner voice that is literally the psychic part of ourselves that is trying to actually move us forward into these new earth energies through the choices that we make. But being able to contemplate and find what choices are available to us at any given moment, at any given time. Expansion. Educate your mind and senses. I don't know why, but this always reminds me of the female vagina, yoni, whatever that is. Have a look at it. It just always reminds me of that. So it's kind of like, and like an explosion, an expansion of that that type of energy, that sexual energy, which is also extremely healing for all of us. I think another thing too, light codes we're getting to as well, so allowing those light codes to come through. And I think in the future what a lot of us will begin to find is that the whole aspect of how we are looking at our sexual being and our desires and all that sort of stuff may actually take a change. Like, it actually may go into some form of more sacred sexuality, more healing, like using sex and that sort of thing as a tool for change, for healing, and to be a sacred act, where in the past it has not been that, and we have been mind controlled and manipulated to give away our power through our sexual organs and through the lack of knowledge of self and lack of connection to source. And so because of that, we have given our power away through our very beings and our sexual history, I guess. So this is for men and women alike, but I feel like it will come to pass that in the future, and what the feminine will be required to do at some point, is to look at just how she has been manipulated into, and she's also allowed this to happen, to take her sexuality away from the sacred and from the divine, and cheapened it in a lot of ways. And I'm a big one for who has actually allowed that to happen for myself. So, but no more, because I think the feminine is becoming very awakened to how she has allowed the manipulation of our sexual being, and turned it, how it's been turned away from the sacred, how it's been turned away from the divine, and the healing that is needed through our sexual orientation and all that sort of stuff. And it's been abused and manipulated into something that's quite ugly, But now we have the opportunity as the feminines, because we're going through this wonderful change that's happening on the earth plane. And as it's happening within, it's also happening on an outer level. We'll begin to actually find that our sacredness within, the sexuality that we actually must now own as being sacred. And so it's something that has been coming up for me. I don't know if it's been coming up for others, but I think we've been led so far away from the actual origin of the frequency band in which the sacred sexuality belongs, that it's now going to be a little bit of an effort to get back there. But as we begin to heal more within ourselves, we'll also begin to understand just how important our sexuality, our sacred sexuality is, and how the expression of that in a sacred way and in a loving, kind, healing way, then that can overturn everything on this earth plane. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit confused because I'm still kind of processing a lot of this that comes through. So I'm a little bit confused about just how this is going to take place. But anyway, I feel like that's the next thing for the feminine to understand the sacredness of her sexuality, and just how she will eventually use that in the future for healing the whole entire world, as well as herself. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So that's part 2, because I actually cut that off instead of pausing it. Sorry, guys. Anyway, see you next week. Bye for now.